All right guys, welcome back to Millennial Men Actual for level 2 of our emergency food preparedness kit. Now, if you have a little bit more than $100 per person that you're okay with investing into your emergency food, this is where we get to have a little bit of fun. So the first thing on our list is gonna be food grade buckets. Now, some of these can be really expensive. I got a set of 6 for $100, but if you just look around on average, you're probably gonna look at about 2 for $50 or $25 each for 5-gallon buckets. Now, I actually have a 6-gallon bucket here. I'm gonna show you what fits inside just so you have a reference of how much space it takes, how big it is, and what it holds. And then we're gonna go over some more of the details after that. The next thing on my list is a backpacking stove. Now, I have a couple of options here, but these can range between $13 to $20. Here is a $13 one, and it works okay. It does the job, but it's definitely on the cheaper side. You can see these arms kind of fan out around, and then these arms, they all bend out, and then you can set your canteen cup on top of here. Now, I highly, highly recommend that you get one that has one of these push starters. If it does not have this, then you will need to have matches or a lighter. And in an emergency situation, it's just really nice to not have to have matches or a lighter, especially if the wind's blowing or you're out camping or you just don't have a lighter or matches on you. Here's an option. This is by MSR, a nicer brand. It's built better. It's got a wider top. It's more sturdy. However, it does not have the lighter attached to it. So this can be an option. It depends on what you're looking for, but they're pretty compact and very handy. And then this is one by High-Tech that I got a long time ago, and it's probably my favorite. It does have the starter on it. You can see it's well used with all the heat marks, and it has the starter on here. Usually it only takes 1 or 2 pops there to get it going, but this one is built really well. This one was 13 bucks, but this one might have been more like $20 or something like that. And again, it just folds out and then back in, just like that. And this one came in a little pouch just like so. So this is definitely something I would add to your list. It's good to have your emergency food on hand. However, if you don't have the ability to cook your food, it could put you in a bad luck situation, and we're really trying to avoid that by putting this all together. Now, the next thing on the list is you need fuel. This is gonna be your emergency fuel. Hopefully you have the ability to cook on your stove at home, but if the power goes out, you want to have absolute guarantee that you can cook the food that you have. So these are made for these backpacking burner stoves. This one was, I don't know if it was on sale, but it was only $8 for 16 ounces. And I took this on a camping trip recently and I used it for 3 or 4 days straight. I made tea, I made rice, I made a bunch of things, and it didn't even feel like it was about half empty. So 16 ounces will get you by in a pinch for quite a bit. It boils water fast, it can heat stuff up fast, and it works really well. It's pretty safe. I mean, I even was using it in my tent, maybe not the smartest, but I made sure that I had the ability to put out the fire if it fell over. I also made sure that the ground was very stable before I started the burner inside my tent. But I just want to show how handy it is, because in that situation, it was pouring rain outside. Our campfire, it was actually raining all day, and our campfire kept getting put out. And so I needed to pull this out in order to cook up some food. So $8 will get you by. There are some smaller ones. So there are different size options depending on how much space you have to store it. So keep that in mind. I put $8 on the list because maybe you only need one as a backup in emergency, but the sky is the limit. If you want to be able to cook for a year on end, you're going to need 100 of these. All right, so just keep that in mind. All right, you've got your burner, you've got your fuel, you've got the rice and the beans and the water, and you're cooking it. And how do you eat it? Well, I'm going to show you one of my favorite tools. This is kind of like the GI can opener, but this one has a little spoon on it. And I believe this one is by Sport. I can't remember if that's who I got it through, but it was a pack of 2 and maybe it was like $12, but worth its weight in gold because you can actually scoop out and eat with it afterwards. Now, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult if you're cooking something like ramen, but I really don't recommend using processed pastas in emergency food. It's not very nutrient dense, and it's that same whole enriched, bleached white flour that's just not really great for your digestive system or for your body in general. It also has a little bottle opener if you need, maybe an emergency situation, you have rice, beans, and beer. But in any case, it does have a bottle opener. But this guy is really fun, and every time I pull it out, everyone around the campfire is like, oh, that's so cool, because it's not just this part, it's more than just a can opener. The next level would be something like this, and these are a lot of fun because they're easy to wash, they're pretty durable. Keep in mind that there are different qualities, because the first one I ever got was super heavy duty. It was like $4 for the one, and then I got a pack of like 4 for $5, and I mean, these things are like, they work, but they're a little bit flimsier. It is nice though if you're backpacking because they're lightweight. They're probably half the weight of the other spoon. Now I know we're talking like 1 ounce or less, but when it comes, ounces equals pounds, right? So in a backpacking situation, that could work. You've obviously got the spoon, you've got the fork, and then you've got the cutting edge. And these do work actually pretty good for basic stuff. You're not gonna be able to cut through steak, but if you're eating steak in an emergency situation, invite me over. All right, the next thing on my list is camping cup and utensils. And these are probably my favorite part about camping because, I don't know, there's so many options and sizes, and I've been experimenting with stainless versus titanium, but I'm gonna show you a couple of examples just so that you can maybe better decide for yourself. This right here is actually a titanium cup. Now, titanium is gonna be a lot more durable than stainless. Now, this is about as durable as you're gonna get for a titanium cup. Size-wise, I think this is about 16 to 20 ounces. It is 750 milliliters. I'll put that up there in the conversion for you right now. But it does have the cup, and it has the lid with the ability to use a stick, or if you have something else to pick this up, that's handy. It also has these holes right here, which is super handy because you want some air to escape sometimes, otherwise it can boil over. And if you do that, it puts out your flame and then it just makes a mess, and then everything's ruined. So super handy. This was about $30. Like I said, you're gonna be paying quite a bit more for the titanium options. But trust me when I say they're going to last a lot longer than aluminum. Definitely aluminum, you'll get a couple uses and then they'll just kind of be destroyed. And stainless is next best, but the titanium, you're gonna get the best quality and the longest duration of use out of them. Here we have a 450 milliliter option. Same thing, this is, I would probably take this on like a backpacking trip. I mean, this is extremely lightweight. This feels lighter than aluminum and stainless, and it's definitely heavier duty. So this would be a great backpacking option. It's got the hook on top to lift off the lid, and it's also got the hole on top so that it can vent out the steam. And there you have it. So if you don't have to cook for a family, then this could be an option for you. And this was more around $25. So a lot more affordable and budget friendly than the $30 version. Now, if you have a little bit more of a budget, maybe up to $50, you can get these really cool sets. This is a set for 2. You can look up a set for 4 and see what they have. This is kind of a spring-loaded to an extent. You've got your pot, you've got rubber on here, which insulates it. You can grab it without burning your hand because normally these get really hot. Again, it's got the ports on the top so that it can vent out the steam. Inside you have your 2 sporks, which is kind of nice. Not quite a spork, but it's a spoon with, I wouldn't call it a spork. It's pretty much just a spoon. But you've got your 2 spoons. You've got your 2 bowl/cups. These could work as a bowl or a cup. And then you've got your main pot. So this holds 4 cups of water or 1 liter. Holy cow. Yeah, 1,000 milliliters, 1 liter. So this holds about 32 ounces of water, 4 cups. So you could make 3 cups of rice in here. You got your 1 cup rice and your 2 cups of water. And yeah, you could feed 2 people, 3 people. You could put maybe a little bit of rice and a little bit of beans in together, cook them together. But this is a nice little set. I want to say because it's just the pot and then the cups and the spoons that this one was maybe only like $30. I do like that it has the rubber on the lid, and then this, you squeeze it together and it holds everything together. So that's really handy and compact. This is stainless steel, not titanium, but the stainless really holds up to the flames, especially the isobutane. It really burns cleanly and you don't have to worry about that. So those are some camping cup options that you can look into. There's so many cool options out there. Go out, look around, see what you like, see what fits your budget, and just keep in mind that the levels of quality basically are aluminum, a little bit better is stainless, and a little bit better is titanium. All right, the next thing that we have to cover is oxygen absorbers. If you're packing your food into these 5-gallon buckets and you don't want them to go bad, you need to make sure they stay dry. So for about 20 bucks, you can get a ton of oxygen absorbers. They might come in a big package like this. This one is 500 cc's, 100 each. So we have a total of 50 in this bag of 500 cc's. Now, the general rule of thumb is for every 1 gallon of rice, you need about 400 cc's of oxygen absorbers. So that would be one of these packets per gallon. This is a 6-gallon bucket, so I'd need to put 6 of these 500 into here to make sure we're good to go. Now, for beans and pasta and things with a little bit more air, we need about double that, so 800 cc's of oxygen absorbers per gallon. So if this 6-gallon bucket were filled with just beans or pasta or something where there's more air, we're gonna need about 12 or more of these to make sure that we're good to go. Now, these ones right here, they're 300 cc's each. It makes the math a little bit more difficult. I would recommend 500 or 1000 cc oxygen absorbers just to make it easy. And don't be afraid to overshoot and put extra oxygen absorbers in. It's only gonna make things better in the long run, especially if you're storing these for a couple of years and you wanna make sure that you can put them away and have peace of mind that they'll be good to go when you need to get them out. Now, I didn't wanna end on oxygen absorbers, so the last thing on the list is going to be water filtration. Now, you can spend between $10 to $80 for basic water filtration. On the $10 side, we have something like this Life Straw. Now, these are pretty decent. You're still gonna wanna try and access clean running water sources, but in an emergency, you can easily hand out maybe one of these to each of the family, and you have your drinking end, and then you have the end that goes into the water source. So these can be really good, you know, maybe you're collecting rainwater or whatever it is and you're in a pinch and you need one of these. They're about 10 bucks. What I basically do is I take a 6-gallon bucket, and as you can see here, I basically put 20 pounds of rice, 18 pounds of beans, and I put in 1 Life Straw per bucket. But basically, I made this bucket so that if I need to walk out the door, I can take this 1 bucket and it's got a decent amount of food and the ability to purify water for a short period of time until I can get the supplies that I need for more long-term survival. Now, if you have a little bit more room in your budget, I would highly recommend something like this Grail water bottle. This is really cool, and I'm gonna show you why. So the last time I was at the store, I was looking for a water filter, but I didn't really feel like buying a water filter where you have to manually crank it and put a hose in the water, put the other part on the water bottle, and then store the water bottle that holds the water, and then also store the water filter. And I found a really cool in-between option that I really like, and that's this guy. Now, the reason I like this so much is you can filter water with it and it can hold water at the same time. So there's only a little bit of water in here, but I want to show you how it works. There's basically the water bottle part and the cup or the sleeve. And the way this works is the filter is attached on the bottom here. This is a very high quality filter. And basically what you do is you fill up the sleeve and then you just use pressure to filter the water, and it goes right into the bottle as you press down, just like so. Now it's in the bottle and you can drink it. So the cool thing about this is if you have a larger container and you need to get water for a group of people, or maybe you're continuing on a hike and you found a water source, but you don't know where the next water source is gonna be, you can take this, fill it up, filter, pour it into the larger container, fill it up, filter, pour it in a larger container, fill it up, filter, and then you have the two, the larger and this container of water. So that's the reason I really like this. As you can see, it only took 10, 15 seconds maybe to push it down. And you don't have to worry about mechanical parts or seals. There's really just the one seal as you're pressing it down, and then the filter doesn't take up that much extra space. So this guy, around $80, worth its weight in gold. Trust me. If you get this, definitely tag me in it. Let me know. These things are awesome. So guys, if you combine everything that we went over in this video with a previous video, you're still only looking about $241. Not bad per person. And some of these supplies you can actually combine and share with the rest of the people. So even for a family of 4, you're looking at under $1,000 for everyone to have their own water bottle, burner, cooking set, all the stuff that we covered. So guys, I hope this was helpful for you. Level 2, we got to play around with some cool toys, and I'll see you guys in the next video, level 3, where we get to play around with some more toys where we can survive with a little bit of comfort.